Hello YouTube, this is Annihilation, and today I thought we would try some dry brushing. I have not ever really successfully dry brushed. Not like it's hard, it's just that in my younger, more exuberant years, I think I went a little hard on it, and you end up with more paint on the model than maybe you would like. The brushes I had at that time for dry brushing, I have no idea if they were good or not. I certainly didn't have any experience with dry brushing. So here I find myself many years later with a Citadel dry brush and Orruk Megaboss with a bunch of really dark armor at this point. And I thought it might be fun to show you someone mucking about with some dry brushing for the first time. The technique is simple enough. You dip the tip of your paint brush in some paint, wipe most of it off, and then with the remaining, traces of pigment, you try to catch the raised areas of whatever you're painting to bring out a weathered highlight look on those edges. So we're going to give that a shot, and hopefully the camera will pick up what I'm doing. And it'll be successful, and if not, well, if it isn't successful, we'll paint the gray back over the armor and try again. So, step one, take a dye brush, dip it in some paint, make sure it's a little bit lighter than whatever you were using previously, obviously, and yeah, go to town, I suppose. And let's see, what paint will we use? I believe we will use Dawnstone. Mixed in, obviously, with the Eshin Gray, which is what the base layer is on this armor. So, let's give that a shot. You go back in focus, hopefully. I have my wet palette out, so I should still have enough of the Eshin Gray out to get this done. I will take a very little bit of the Dawnstone, and we will try that. This is me wiping most of it off. Bonk, bonk. Nice, okay. And then we will try to show you on camera what happens when you dry brush something. Perhaps here. Yeah, okay, so can you see that, yes or no? On the very edge of his armor plates on his hand there, you should be able to see some gray highlights. You see this on almost every model that you'll see online, painted well. There's this edge highlighting stuff going on. The basic form of that is dry brushing. The more advanced form of that is doing it meticulously, which we are not ready for here. You can use, obviously, the edge of the brush to great effect here. It will help you as the bristles make contact with the edges. You don't need to go overboard with this. They will drag themselves across the edge and leave their paint there, which is what you want, obviously. I'm not doing too much of this at the moment. As a beginner, I think the temptation is to attempt to do too much too soon. And we are trying to obviously avoid that problem. Will you focus, please? Here. On the brush tip. This one. Here. Yes! Oh, well, it briefly focused in the correct area. Perhaps now it will do it. Over here, come on. Logitech, everyone. Great company. You useless. I won't swear on YouTube. I promise I won't. I promise I won't swear on YouTube. kind of. Obviously the wet palette here is of less use than it normally would be, since you want the paint to be dry. Even so, you can still use it to store paint that you took out of the little bottles. Being a little more generous with it this time, hoping to get that effect on camera for you a bit better. Let's see. Can you see that? Yes or no? It's here, please. Get my other hand out of the frame because it likes to focus on my hand for some reason. I wonder if Logitech cameras have like skin tone recognition, because that would be racist as balls. Like, what's wrong with green? You don't like orcs? Oh, I think you can see it there. That is dry brushed. That's almost in focus. I suppose I'd be thankful. You can tell the armor, as I'd mentioned previously, has... Oh, there it goes. That's nice. It has a handcrafted looking sort of beaten plate feel to it. That is fantastic for dry brushing, as all those little edges will catch that lighter gray as you apply it. So we're going to do that for all of the Megaboss and see how we go. I wonder if this guy's any good in-game. I mean, I imagine he is. But I don't play. Certainly not Age of Sigmar. But if one of you does play and wants to tell me about the exploits of Orruk Megaboss, I'm all ears. I love a good story. I'm sure we all do. In 40K, I've watched enough battle reports to know that the orcs are a menace. They have all these funky rules that can really frustrate the plans of even seasoned players. And you get a lot of surprised sort of, your guy did what? Sort of discussions back and forth. And then someone has to explain the orky rules, and they never make any sense, but they're quite fun. Like, and I'm also a big fan of their ability to pretty much manifest Deus Ex Machina style what they believe is true. It's like, I think painting something red makes it stronger, so I will, and then it becomes stronger. That's there's something to like there, I think, for everyone. Like, if you've never wished for that, then either you skipped childhood as a development phase, or you just lack imagination. Let's see where we are. Look at that. Might be a bit much at this point, but I mean, we're not finished, and this is me just trying to do something, so I'm not too worried about it at the moment. I'm not being particularly meticulous with the areas I'm starting with either. Like right now I'm on a leg. But the effect is immediate, which is kind of fun. Sometimes, you know, you feel like you're not making any progress, or it's quite slow, or you need this to be done tomorrow or whatever. Like, that's gonna work against you, I won't lie. Or just, you know, these models sit somewhere in your house, apartment, gathering dust as you do other things, procrastinate, paint other models, get distracted, get a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And then you get used to looking at unfinished models. And I think you kind of become complacent. Like, oh, you know, I'll do it sometime, and then a day becomes a week, and a week becomes a month, and you still haven't painted anything. I think, well, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I've been guilty of that in the past. And I think this dry brushing is a really nice way to take a model that maybe you hadn't worked on in a while, to just bring it up another level, to reinvigorate yourself to want to work on that model. Now I want to be working on these guys, so I mean, for me maybe that isn't currently the problem, but then I've not been painting every day for 15 years or whatever some of you may be doing. Or I'm not, you know, trying to put an army on the table tomorrow. I have all the time in the world to do this, more or less. I am mortal. I mean, I will die one day. Hopefully this will be done by then. Yeah, okay, so the pro tip for you right there. Pro tip from a complete beginner. Don't die with unpainted models. Your estate may not pass on to someone who wants to finish the work you started and never finished. It's just going to make you look bad. So yeah, paint your models before you get hit by a truck or something. That's pretty much the lesson there, I think. No, I'm not saying don't look both ways before you cross the street, like, you know, but yeah. Because there's so little pigment on the bristles of the brush, you can be very rough with this and not make quote-unquote mistakes. It really is mostly just rubbing off on those edges, so I hope you can see that. Will it focus on Orruk Megaboss? Yes or no? Will you focus? Here, please. You like my finger? Come on. Come on. I know you like my finger. I'm not talking to my camera as though it is a sentient thing. This is getting out of control. Hey, come on. Oi. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Are you gonna stay focused? I think so, if I don't move my hand, maybe. Okay, so there you can see that jaw plate thing, casque that he's wearing. It's got highlights. His knee and his foot, good highlights there. That is the power of dry brushing, friends. And I'm not going to make this video crazy long, so I'm probably going to leave it there. I will do more dry brushing off camera. We'll come back to Orruk Megaboss when he is further along in the painting process. I did say we're going to paint him from the inside out, and I am now dry brushing his armor instead of his skin. It's just because I thought it would show up better on camera. I will do the same to his skin, and then we will move on from there. I will show you the back if I can. Yeah, you can see those armor plates in the back as well, catching those highlights. The power of dry brushing is, well, not in your fingertips, but at the tips of your brush. So give that a go if you haven't yet. Just, you know, waste a bunch of paint, throw most of it on a paper towel like I have, and take the rest of it and put it on your models and immediately improve their quality. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing and hearing. I will continue to apologize for the camera issues, but when they are in focus, I hope you can see that we're making good progress here. This is a beginner sort of YouTube channel where I struggle through and you get to come along for the ride and watch me make mistakes and talk about what I'm experiencing, and hopefully that is meaningful to you. Thanks very much. See you next time. This has been an Annihilation painting video. Orruk Megaboss dry brushing.